What is the start time for these going to be going forward here?
I usually come on at 6:30 and start setting things up, right? And then by 7, Frankie comes on and we record the show proper. But I got the live stream going now, and I'm currently putting up the
So
hilarious thumbnail.
is it
Welcome, everybody.
6:30 your time right now?
It is, yeah, correct.
So this is the normal time?
Yep.
Oh man, I screwed it up somehow. I think I moved it the wrong way. I
You
have an
know what it
alarm.
is?
Yeah.
It's because Saskatchewan's time never changes,
Yeah.
is what
But
it
I
is.
tried to adjust it, but I think pretty sure I adjusted it the wrong freaking way.
Because I've had that when I used to tour with the band, right? We'd have
Yeah.
times that we're supposed to be at places and we'd cross borders and we'd get occasionally, like we're pretty good at this, but occasionally we get screwed by it. Going into Saskatchewan occasionally was one of the places. Southeastern BC sometimes because they got mountain time there. But then they got some communities that decided they're on Pacific time, even though they're technically in mountain time. So you think it's one time, and then I've a number of times been
Yeah.
completely fooled in just
You know,
traveling Canada with the band.
I usually kind of pride myself on being more with it than most people when it comes to time zones, but confuses the best of us when it's staggered like that. Some provinces switch it in the winter and other ones don't,
They
or
just need to
switch in
do
the
away with
summer.
the
Yeah.
whole stupid thing.
And then part of BC doesn't switch over there, Fort St. John and Northeast BC. They stay on the same time zone all year round.
My God, Facebook has thrown a crappy restriction on me, and I can't use groups now.
Facebook still screwing up again?
Yeah, this is brand new. It's because of this meme in my bullshit group there we put a while ago. And I said I've been quiet for a while, and what it was, it was like it was that creepy guy. I can't think of his name. Uh, who's like in jail right now. He's like a womanizer. He's really bad, and he's like against the vaccines. And he's saying, he won't sleep with a woman who takes the vaccines. And there's a woman saying, "Yay, the vaccines work." So Facebook has restricted me. So therefore, we can't post this to weather watchers on a stupid AI bot, a stupid AI. Ugh. It's so crappy, man. Like you can't even use they fucking punish you for using their app.
I
Like
know.
their robot doesn't understand something I say, and the next thing you know,
The thing that just blows so many people away, including myself, is when they tell you your post has been taken down, but they don't even show you what freaking post they took down. You get that one?
oh, I've had it all.
Yeah.
I've had it all. I just get hammered by the robots out of the
They,
blue,
they
and it's like, then the more they do it, the more
they'll
the
say
more they do it, the more that they fucking.
we removed your post. So if you want to learn from it, you want to see what post got removed. So you maybe have a clue why they would have done it, but they don't even show you which one it was. And one, okay, you're
No,
gonna
they
be removing more then.
it, it's like instantly out of the blue. I just get these restrictions, and it's like the more that you're a repeat offender. You know what I mean? You're a repeat offender in their mind. So every time it's like instantly out of the blue, your account is restricted. So now we got another snowstorm coming into BC, and I can't post anything into Weather Watchers until the fucking 19th,
I
which is
used
why I
to.
started Blue Sky because I can't even use Facebook reliably anymore, which is why I started the YouTube channel years ago. because
Yeah.
I needed a way to tell people on Weather Watchers that stuff was going on. It's one of the. There's a number of reasons why I started this, but that's definitely one of them. So our storm for BC isn't showing up yet on Environment Canada. It probably will start seeing something about that, I think, tomorrow for Saturday's snowstorm. Wow. So you've been kind of lucky there. This is a problem for you, that time zone thing you're talking about, because I don't know how far Wilkie is from the border there, but it's close. It's close to Alberta.
Yeah, I'd be in Alberta inside of an hour driving west.
So they change their time, but you don't change your time. And it's like, yeah, you got to
Right
be
now, we're the
cognizant.
same. In the winter, we're at the same time as Alberta, and in the summer, we're the same time as Manitoba.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you build a civilization like this? So you've been lucky. You've only had a little bit of this cold, I guess, eh?
I mean, we've been going through -30 all week until tomorrow. We're gonna finally, yeah, we're not getting that.
Still 30s. I mean, this is some cold weather. And then of course, you get the people who are like, "Oh, that's just winter. That's normal." It's like, it's not normal. Was it all summer long? Were you out there sweating in -40? And it's like people say stuff like that, and you're trying to tell me you enjoy it, or that I shouldn't tell everyone, "Hey, be ready ahead of time." Like,
Some people
man,
will tell you they enjoy it, but I don't know whether I really believe them.
yeah. So, a never-ending snowstorm in Ontario continues. The lake effect snow is just, I don't know if you could even find the
I
roofs of some of
saw,
these places.
yeah, I've been seeing a couple of crazy photos. Um, Houses half buried.
Yeah. Look at this. 50 centimeters are possible if a band locks in for an extended period. 50 centimeters, that's all.
Like from the photos, you'd think it was freaking Nova Scotia or something, and it's Ontario.
God, I hate Facebook. 40 to 80 centimeters through Friday. What is going on there?
That's
Oh,
insane.
that is some lake effect madness that just will not stop.
When I had 30, I was complaining, and they're talking 40 to 80.
Well, we get big snow here in the mountains, but it's not like this lake effect snow that just pounds onto one place, just comes off the lake and straight in there. Here comes Hauk even. We got Hilding there now. I'm back in Facebook restrictions, Hilding. So I can't even share the link to Weather Watchers again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll see how many people show up for the live stream. It sucks when your social media is, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to maybe start another Facebook account.
I used to get put in Facebook jail a lot more than I do these days, but it was always for music. I would post a video and then put my own music that I bought myself. It's not that I had ripped off somebody's music, I bought it, but they didn't like me putting my own music that I paid for on a video I'm sharing with the public. But I figured out their secret. But how many seconds of coverage of music I can put on there before they uh give me heck about it. But every once in a while, even if I stay under what I think is the limit, they'll still zing me.
So punitive. I can't believe it. you know, Out of the blue, it's showtime. I had the thing written up and I was hitting send post and it's like, sorry, you're restricted. You can't post onto groups till the 19th again. Gah,
Right now,
why? Why?
right now, if I use
And I challenge it, and then
uh,
they're bought like, sorry, our technology has made a mistake. A month from now,
do they actually turn it over when you challenge it?
they have for
Because,
me a number of times because I'm like, this is bullshit.
but every time I've tried to challenge stuff, whether it's Facebook or or Twitter or X or whatever, they just don't even respond, and it just sits there. And so I
Some big
typically just end up
rainfall.
pulling it down.
Rainfall and freezing rain in Quebec. That's been quite the storm that's went through there this week. It's been really quite something. Yeah. Wow. Yep.
But
Everyone,
I've learned,
if everyone joins Blue Sky, we'll just keep punishing these. Look at that
yeah,
storm so that went up the U.S. coast through eastern Canada and is now up into northern Quebec. And look at that, 9:59. That was a bomb cyclone.
that is crazy. Those lines are so tight.
It really took off, and you saw those wind warnings and things like that, right? We were just on. Here's our next storm showing up into BC. The
Yeah,
timing of it
those lines are
on
really
this
tight too.
yeah, it's pretty strong. It's pretty strong. I don't think it's anything that crazy out of the ordinary. I think it's going to send a couple pulses of snow into the province. Saturday might not be a great travel day. We catch a bit of a break for most of us on the Sunday, and then the next sort of, there you go. I think by Wednesday, another one. Yeah, we're kind of into a pattern coming into Christmas. I think of storms slapping up against BC again. It's really not going to stop much. How you doing, Brandon?
Oh, doing great.
So how soon do you think we're going to get a real dump of snow?
For you here, we'll look at that in a second. For you, you're hard to predict on the lee side, where you are in the mountains there. Sometimes you get it when I'm not expecting it, and sometimes you don't get it when I'm expecting it. So this is a southern BC story, I think, this weekend, more or less. I see that cold breaking a little bit for the prairies. Man, that's been brutal. But yeah, it didn't seem like it's broken any records recently. So, oh, there's some next level cold. Oh, ouch. Poor Hank. Poor Justin.
When is that happening?
That's the 20th.
Oh, okay.
You're well into that. By the time I'm out of Facebook jail again.
Oh. Hey, Brandon, you get so many comments when you post stuff on Facebook.
Oh, yes.
I have an idea for you. You need to put up a picture of an animal making a funny pose, and then you tell people to do a selfie of themselves in the same pose.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because like if I did it, I'd get 2 responses, but if Brandon does it, he'll get 150 responses. Yeah.
Yes.
People posing like this animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But don't steal someone's photo.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'll be using Blue Sky more and more. I almost got 1,000 people on there now. So, eventually more and more will come over, and I'll just less and less. I want to make my own website too. I'd like to just eventually
Do you have
to hell with
1,000
Facebook.
following you already?
Yeah,
Holy
960 something.
smokes.
It's not bad. I've
It
not
took
spent
me
that much time on there, really.
took me like 3-4 years to get that many on Twitter.
Twitter's terrible.
That's
Everything's
still where I
terrible
have
these
the most followers is Twitter. So that's why I'm still on there, is because when I speak, there's a lot of people listening.
Yeah, it looks like, it looks like a good slap and come into BC and that. Oof, there we go. Bam. Bam. A little ways out still yet. What do we got for temperatures right now? Hey, sweet relief, man. Yeah, look at that. You've seen some improvement. Got some 35s up there, Lynn Lake. But all in all, that's a little better than it's been, although not for Justin. Look at that, minus 30 in Brandon right now.
Oh yes. Let's see what the wind chill is there. Brandon feels like minus 38.
That's harsh.
Hey, Brandon, there I saw a weather nerd
Oh yeah.
scolding people for saying the wind chill is that it wasn't right to say it like that. That she insisted it has to be the wind chill factor, and if you don't say the word factor, she's mad at you.
Well, the
Oh.
problem is she has no life.
Yeah.
Take things too seriously. Like, who cares? Everyone knows what you mean.
I'll have to say the coldest place in all of Canada today was Key Lake, Saskatchewan. Minus 45.
Ugh.
And
Ugh.
then you add in the chill, it felt like minus 53.
That's
As long as I
so-
don't say degrees after the wind chill, then.
That's so terrible. But like I would say the same thing to when people are like, atmospheric river, you're just making stuff up. It's like the other end of the coin too. I'm equally like, oh, get over it.
Mhm.
But yeah, there are some weather nerds out there
Yeah.
that get really, really uppity about stuff. And then it's like, I don't know, it reminds you of high school where you got to like watch everything you say. And I'm not good at that. Watching what I say.
That's why you're in Facebook jail again.
Yeah, a little bit.
What was going on with Facebook the other day? I see who was it? Brandon posting on Facebook that Facebook is down. I'm like, how can you post on Facebook if Facebook is down, Brandon?
I don't know how I did that either. I was like, oh, Facebook's down. Oh, it posted. Okay. So some of my stuff wasn't posted, but
I was like able to post on my phone, but not on the computer. And then I was able to post on the computer, but not the phone. It went back and forth. What a garbage app. The bastards.
Yeah, I put up a post and two people saw it in 2 days
nice.
because I'm sure that if everybody would have seen it, I'd have had way more comments. But I had two comments in 2 days, and that's like that never happens when I post something.
Ah.
Obviously, some people weren't getting it.
There you go. I like the 3D is better. Well, there you go, BC. Starting in a Friday night, maybe even ECMWF saying. That's some good snow. So your highway mountain passes overnight Friday into Saturday are looking pretty gross. Heavy rain down. Looks like Northern California stretching into Oregon. Out in the United States there, we got this amalgamation of thunderstorms and things like that. Some freezing rain in the north end happening this weekend, Saturday morning. Our storm is slapping into BC, 978. Not too bad, fairly low, but nothing like we haven't seen. Just another round of snow at this time of year. Saturday the 14th, my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. High pressure, really digging into Ontario after that. That's extremely high pressure, 1048. That would pop my ears, I would think, in comparison to what I'm sitting at here in the mountains right now. And you can see this deformation here. What's going on is the next round of cold is going to try to move in next week, and I'm not stoked on it because I'm not sure, once again, that it won't come down to us. So I'm hoping that we just get lots of that Pacific anger keep throwing at us, and like last time, we maybe keep that cold on the other side of the mountains. You guys can keep it, Brandon. You can have it, Hank.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so this weekend looking somewhat snowy and things like that. For BC, northern Alberta, maybe a little band through Saskatchewan there. We got more storm action out there. It just doesn't want to stop anytime soon, but we do catch a break for a little bit there Sunday, Monday, Kinda. Maybe some flurries in the mountains there and a little bit overcast, but there you go. Come already. Heavy snow on Monday night, moving through into Tuesday morning. Oh, looks like another round of massive weather in Ontario. They're just taking it. And that looks like an atmospheric river going on in the BC next week. So we could be seeing some big time precip coming at us. And I would like that because that will keep that cold over there. That's what we want. We want the moderating influence of the ocean. That would be so great. That's what we're looking at right now. Look at that. That's interesting. And that's only 5 days out now, 6 days out. There's I gotta grab my phone. It's in the other room and it's dinging. It's probably people from the report for all I know. Yeah, brutal. Facebook jail until the 19th. When is that? That's next week, Thursday, a whole week. Ugh, Merry Christmas to you guys too. Unbelievable. So we're going to have a big atmospheric river event, and I'm going to be screaming at everybody, and I'm going to have no ability to actually communicate to everybody on Weather Watchers once again. And because in a month from now, the bots will say, "Oh yeah, our bots made a mistake. We're sorry." We'll remove that from your thing. Look at that. Through the next week. Yeah, maybe you finally get a turn too, Alberta. Maybe next week. What did I have? Oh yeah. What I got here? Here's some geography lessons for you. If you're ever trying to find out where Kentucky is, all right, you just start at New Orleans there and work your way north until you get to Colonel Sanders. So Elton John is a hypocrite. That's right. Take off your glasses, cokehead, I said.
Right.
That's what I got.
So I found this out. If you go into Google and you type in the word shabuzi in the Google search, it will do something special.
So do it. Show us.
Well, okay. Hold on. I gotta get into Google here. If I can. Here we go. I'll go into Google.
You got it? Yeah.
Google.
Yeah, okay.
Where are you? No.
I'm going to grab my phone, which
I just
is
did it
relentlessly. It's probably Frankie or somebody.
Frankie or somebody. All right. So I'm just going to do this. We'll go on a share screen. All right. Let's try it. Share screen. There we go.
Oh, you going to be okay, Brandon?
Oh, yeah. We'll be fine.
I'm going to answer Hilding's snow question here in a
It
second.
works on the desktop. All right. Share screen.
Okay, good. What do you got?
All right. So I'm going to type in.
Still can't see it, though.
Windows in front of you. You got to do this. Okay, here we go. Type it in.
Oh, there it is.
All right. Now it's going to try to type. Hold on. Slow it down. All right. Type it in. Not typing. Okay. There we go. Z. Okay. Let's see if it works on the desktop. If it worked on my phone, it should work on the desktop. All right. What does it do? It doesn't work. What the heck?
Shabuzi is a person?
Yeah. Well, sort of. I don't even think
Sort of. Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't.
Not sure.
So
if that
that's
counts.
a fail.
Disappointed. Big fail. Worked on my phone though. Sure did.
It
tipped it side to side, you know? Yeah. That's what it did on my phone. All right. Sorry to disappoint you all.
Yeah, that was terrible. Okay, Hilding. How much snow are you getting there? Let's find out. Coast Mountain's taking a lot. I don't know about you guys, though. 6 centimeters through Saturday night, so not you're not the epicenter of the snow, that's for sure. 66 centimeters. Don't be on the Duffy Highway this weekend. Take the Highway 1 if you have to, I would suppose. It looks like you're going to have periods of messiness up on Revelstoke Highway. Look at the center of Vancouver Island. Going to see some big time snow there from Mount Washington. We're going to have a band that pulses up in through here, like so. Watch, here we go. Here comes our storm swirling in, cycloning around. And there, on this gradient here, comes a line of snow that might come through the Prince George region. Might hit a little bit of you there, Hilding. Might definitely going to get me because it always does here in Wells. And then we take a bit of a break before whammo. Not too bad. This is a different model than the one where the ECMWF seemed to think more snow on Monday night. This one's got big time snow Wednesday. It's just a matter of timing, depending what model you look at. Is it going to be Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday? It's going to be one of those. It's going to come. Well, let's find out. This is ECMWF still. And it's got the snow piling up here. Bam, there shows up on Wednesday, big time. Look at that. Some big time snow.
Oh, yeah.
Over a meter in the mountains. Oh, look at that. Powder King. You're into the POW. Hey, good news for the ski hill there, Hudson Bay Mountain and Smithers. Maybe Fort St. James. They're having a little bit of trouble getting some snow, it seems like I've been hearing on there. I forget what the ski hill is called.
Ridge.
Murray Ridge, of course. How could I forget? Foolish. And then, what do we got here? Does Ontario get the 80 centimeters? I don't know. ECMWF doesn't have much to say on that. But, yeah, there's watch this right till Christmas. Seems like almost everyone's getting a white Christmas this year. Hopefully, if this stays cold enough. Southern Alberta. You got snow there already, though, don't you, Brandon?
I got snow on the ground. Lethbridge doesn't, though, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I'd expect that. It's kind of like, Osoyoos or Cranbrook or something, not that they're the same necessarily, but, they're on that side of the mountains. And
I'm just thinking about I got to pick up my daughter in Prince George on the 24th at midnight from the airplane.
Well, that's a ways out.
But it looks like it might be right in the middle of what they're thinking is going to be a snowstorm.
Yeah, it's all we got, rounds and rounds of it. That's the thing. And we really have a number of atmospheric river indicators on there, which tells me right now that nothing's very reliable in the modeling past this weekend in terms of time, how it lines up. It's like, well, one thing we can guess from the models is there's going to be rounds of Pacific lows continuing to come in. There's going to be that.
Yeah.
How it plays out. And with that cold up there being the block once again, can be a little bit hard to predict how they're going to interact. Although last time I was pretty good on it.
Yeah, we seem to be catching the cycles just about exactly as we're seeing them on the chart.
Montreal lost big time tonight.
Oh, how bad?
9-2 to Pittsburgh on home ice. The fans are booing them. Yeah.
9-2 for Pittsburgh over who?
Montreal.
Oh my.
Better send Frankie the link again just to be sure. Because
wow, yeah. Man.
There's been a whole bunch of chat there, and sometimes when it gets buried.
Yeah. That's my fault.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just gonna send it to him and all. And I have Facebook closed right now because I hate them. Mark Zuckerberg is the devil. That's what I have to say about that.
Feels that way sometimes.
post this here one more time for Frankie.
Yeah, I hope they get some rain there in California with that atmospheric river action, especially the areas where the fires are going. So that's the tough part, is will it be far enough south to help them out?
Well, and these lows also help create Santa Ana winds, which fuel the fires.
Yes,
You know,
bad.
if you're not getting the benefit of the precipitation, you're just getting, you know, the dry, high pressure ridging that kind of lives there. So without Frankie here yet, I might still start recording just for the heck of it. Just for the heck of it, because
And
why
then
not?
we can play his videos, right?
We got 4 of us here. He'll be here. He always is.
You
He
need to
always
make him send a tape where he's pretending like he's here when he's not.
Oh,
Just
he'll
in
be
case
here.
this happens.
He'll be here. Frankie's never. A couple times he's been late. Another thing that's happened this week is computer updates. Right, though across the entire world, every computer on the planet, according to Frankie. Welcome everybody to the Comedeorological Report. I'm Joey, only your host. I am here with the Comedeorologist. I got Brandon Hauk, always in Brooks, Alberta, our radio weatherman specialist down there. We got also in the prairies Hank Vliestra, our storm chaser out in Wilkie. He's had some very cold weather this week. And my buddy Hilding over in Grassy Plains, BC, just to the west of me by a couple 100 kilometers. This is your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada. You're hearing us on C4 88.7 FM in Prince George, CKUW 95.9 in Winnipeg, and CFBX 92.5 in Kamloops. You're also watching us on Rogers Television, British Columbia. Right on. Hey, everybody. You know what? And so we got snowstorms coming into BC this weekend. You got the extreme cold that's happening in the prairies. Plus, Ontario's had repeat consecutive lake effect snow events that have just been putting monumental snow. The East Coast just had a very big storm this week, slam on through. It's been a very active weather week in Canada. Also, I got some good news. My ban from Barkerville is now officially over. So I can go to Barkerville Historic site. They got the annual Victorian Christmas this weekend. The kids and I are invited to go. There's been a change in management there, much to the suggestions I was trying to make have happened, and that's good. The community's happy, and we're trying to turn on the page here and move on. So, yeah, you know, good. I can't wait. I'm really stoked to bring the kids there, and I was very emotional when we found out. It has been a very hard week, actually. We had a death here in the house, and we had a very famous person who came from Wells named Caitlin Escott, my friend, who was a wingsuit jumper. She did base. She grew up right here in Wells. Her dad was the Glenn was the drover. He's the guy who had the horses and whatnot, and did the stagecoach rides and things. So you know, this is and her mom Carrie, very good friend of mine here in town. You know, it's a family I care about very much, and Caitlin took her last sleep there in Squamish and died last week, Thursday, a week ago today. And yeah, I mean, that's tough news. I mean, she was a warrior, and she went out doing what she loved to do. So you know, you have to give that to her, right? At least. And still, it's a sad thing. She was injured in a crash, I think less than 2 years ago. Like hit the ground at 90 kilometers an hour. They said, "You'll never walk again." She's she pushed herself to the extreme to recover, and then set a record, a BC base jumping record for speed 2 or 3 months ago. So the incredible life of Caitlin Escott right here talking tonight, and still haven't found out where Frankie is, but you know what? We still got the panelists here, so we will move on until Frankie gets here. And the next up is always Brandon Hauk. Over there in Brooks, Alberta, it's the early version of the Brandon Hauk report. Brandon Hauk.
The early, wow, the early version. Wow, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so yeah, this last week has been a bit of a hustle and the bustle, with lots going on throughout the last week there. We, as you know, a couple weeks ago, raised over $51,000 for the food bank and the adopt a family program. So that is pretty incredible stuff. And we had over the weekend there, we had our Christmas party in Red Deer. Traveled all the way to Red Deer there. Got to see the Doppler radar at Strathmore for the first time. Usually, I haven't really checked it out before, so I thought it was pretty neat that I got to finally see that for the first time there. And then got up to Red Deer and got there about I got there pretty early, so it was chilling out for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it was Christmas party time. And then after the Christmas party, we decided to take some random photos in parking lots and drive-throughs. Yeah, that was wild. And then I crashed another Christmas party. So they had the doors wide open, so I just walked in and joined them.
I got the video.
I went to the. You do have the video of that, do you?
Yeah. Keep going.
Okay, and so there's that. So I went to that Christmas party, and I went to the casino, and I won 65 cents. Here we go. So that was my weekend, and then got back to Brooks for the CPKC holiday train that arrived there. Justin got to see it in Brandon a couple of days ago, and then it rolled right into Brooks there. All right, guys, Brandon Houk here. I just crashed somebody else's Christmas party. Whoops.
Yeah, good work.
Yes. I didn't know anybody in there, so it was kind of nice. Yeah, going into a party, didn't know a soul at all. And CPKC holiday trade rolled into Brooks.
And before it rolled in, it was just blasting wind in Brooks, wasn't it?
Oh yes, it was. That day.
All right, it's got pretty nasty out here out by Clooney now. Really strong winds and snow. Got blowing snow, especially on the highways. I counted at least 2 vehicles in the ditch on the Trans-Canada Highway, and it is nasty out here. My goodness. And we're gonna
Can't even understand the word.
But we're in the warning zone. We're expecting winds gusts 90 kilometers now. Bursts of snow to continue as we move our way towards the east there. So stay tuned for updates. Whoa, nasty out here.
So yeah, the wind was gusting at 85 kilometers an hour in that video, and we had quite the storm system roll through the prairies there. So blowing snow, and tricky road conditions, especially into Saskatchewan there. And I counted at least 8 vehicles in the ditch on the way back from Red Deer there. So yeah, that was we didn't get a lot of snow with this. It was more the wind that was just buckling, and then it was more of a snowstorm across portions of Saskatchewan throughout Sunday there. So that was I'd say right along the Yellowhead Highway, right into Manitoba, at least 10 to 20 centimeters of snow fell over the weekend there. So that was quite a snowstorm, and then it all settled right down once that holiday train rolled in. So it was like temperatures are like 1 degree. It was perfect weather for a holiday train to roll into town on Sunday there. So that was that was the day Sunday, and then throughout this week we saw
I got the holiday train
temperatures
right
not
here.
too bad. We kind of sat out on the cold. Oh yeah, the holiday train.
Yeah, want to see the holiday train, everybody?
Awesome video.
Mike McGregor's just showing.
All
up.
right, let's see the holiday train. See.
And we lost Hank,
Okay.
so we're back to 4.
Here it rolls in.
It's coming right for you.
There we go. Yep, coming right in.
It says train on it. Good thing it says that. Otherwise, we wouldn't be like, that's the holiday airplane, kids.
Holiday airplane, yeah. But all decked out. Yeah, it's awesome to see it at night. They're just squealing there.
Yeah, that's pretty. There you go.
Oh yeah.
You radio listeners, you have to imagine it's a big train going by with it's all covered in lights, and yeah, there's kids throwing snowballs at it, and it's pandemonium. Yeah. It's absolutely crazy. It's the holiday train. Last week it was in Brandon, Manitoba. Justin, oh look at that! Frankie has arrived. We got our Frankie. I suspect it was the updates. We'll find out here in a second. Oh yeah, there's the Grinch who stole Christmas.
Guess what? I was on another podcast earlier, football show. I was on another
football show
earlier.
A football show, Frankie.
Look at that.
It was a long podcast. The previous podcast I was on.
Well,
I'll finish my report when Frankie's done.
Sounds like a plan, Brandon.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll do part
Frankie's
2
on
of the Brandon
another
Houck
podcast
report.
just now.
Yeah, well, we had the early edition, Brandon Houck, and now we have the late edition because Frankie was just on a podcast right now.
All the way New York, USA.
In New York, USA. It was a football podcast, Frankie. What was it called?
Joey. It's Mike. I just joined. I'm out right now, but I'm just saying hi.
And guess what? Base Guy Show's officially returning on Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Atlantic. Base Guy Show's back tomorrow night.
Yeah. Congratulations. Bass Guy got hit by Debbie, and now Bass Guy is back, Frankie. And you're so happy because Bass Guy's one of your best friends in the whole world, isn't he?
He's returning tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
Here's the weather for it all across North America and the world. It's going to be really cold and a lot of snow. No in Sound, Ontario. Going to bring high winds, heavy rain, west coast of Vancouver Island. Tomorrow and Saturday, Sunday, it's going to bring really cold air all across the eastern United States. It's going to bring warm air, cold air fighting each other. Then it's going to bring some rain in Northern California, including San Francisco on Saturday coming up. It's going to bring a lot of rain in coastal areas of Oregon and snow in the mountains in Oregon and in Washington State. Lots of rain in Seattle, Olympia, and coastal areas of Washington. In Spokane, the snow and rain there too. BC interior, lots of snow right now. Mountains of Vancouver Island and all across mountains of Vancouver Island as well. Then it got some cold air. Then it got some rain hitting for Nova Scotia next Tuesday as well. Then there's a possible another heavy rain hitting for Nova Scotia on Thursday evening as well. And next week possible. And it's going to bring really cold air in Ontario right now. And snow squalls bringing so much snow in Sound, Ontario. And then lots of weather in Central America right now. Lots of rain, thunderstorms going on in Honduras right now in all those places. Nigeria, El Salvador, and all those places. Panama, Guatemala, and all those places. And El Salvador, and all those places. Lots of rain, thunderstorms going on in Amazon rainforest, Brazil right now. Venezuela, parts of Colombia, parts of Ecuador, parts of Bolivia, in northern Peru. It's really dry and windy in northern Chile right now in the desert in northern Chile. In southern Chile, lots of rain going on in southern Chile right now. Their summer starts on December 21st. Lots of dry air in Argentina right now. Got some rain in northern Argentina right now. And thunderstorms in the forecast. And Falkland Islands, warm air, cold air fighting each other right now. And lots of cold air in England right now. In Spain and France and Scotland, Wales and Ireland and Isle of Man. There's lots of snow up in Sweden, Finland, and Norway, rain in coastal areas of Norway. Then they got some rain, snow and mix in Germany, Denmark, Netherlands, Poland, Belarus, Moscow, Russia. Lots of rain going on in Italy right now, and Croatia, Albania, Bosnia, parts of Greece coming up this Saturday, Sunday. Then they got some snow aiming in cold temperatures heading towards Turkey. And Libya right now, it's really dry, and parts of Algeria and Morocco is really dry right now. And all across China and all those places. Lots of rain going on in southern Indonesia right now, and thunderstorms. Cold air in northern Japan. Lots of snow in Sapporo, Japan. Then you got some cold air, warm air fighting each other in Tokyo, Japan, Osaka, Japan, and things like this. South Korea, North Korea, Vladivostok, all those places. It's really cold in Mongolia, Siberia right now. In Yakutsk, Russia, Norilsk, Russia, it's really cold air right now. In Philippines, is Lots of rain thunderstorms in the Philippines right now, including Vietnam, Laos, Malaysia, Thailand, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Laos. Thailand's in the dry season, and it's really dry in Bangladesh and Myanmar. So much rain in Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia right now. India is really dry right now, except for far southern India. It's really hot and dry in New Delhi, India, Bangladesh, and Myanmar, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, and all those places right now. It's really dry in Nigeria and Ghana and all those places right now. Their rainy season has came to an end. And weather in southern Africa right now is lots of wind in South Africa, including Cape Town right now. And there's a cyclone aiming towards northern Mozambique. There's Sunday coming. There's a cyclone's going to strike northern Mozambique, Africa. Lots of rain in Zambia right now. Parts of Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and East Central Africa right now. And Madagascar, north, south of the hurricane. It's called now tropical. They call it tropical cyclones. There's lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in Madagascar, La Réunion, and Mauritius Islands, and chance of showers in the forecast. There's lots of thunderstorms going on in northern Australia right now. Then they got some southeastern Australia's warm air, cool air fighting each other. And they got thunderstorms in the forecast, and they got some chance of showers in the forecast in Auckland, New Zealand, Wellington, New Zealand, Gisborne, New Zealand, Hamilton, New Zealand, New Plymouth, New Zealand, Gracemont, New Zealand, Christchurch, Dunedin, and Invercargill, and all those places right now. It's warmer temperatures right now because their summer starts next Saturday. And next Thursday, I'm getting my hair cut. And guess what? Base Guy shows back on the air on Friday, December 13th at 10 p.m. Atlantic, 6 p.m. Pacific. And 24-hour darkness up in the Arctic is 24-hour daylight in Antarctica right now.
Excellent World Weather Report, Frankie. So my question for you, Frankie, is there was a big storm this week in Nova Scotia, Quebec, New Brunswick, PEI,
In New York.
up to Newfoundland, New York, the
Massachusetts,
Maine.
all the way down Florida, and even Cancun.
Yeah, tell us what happened there, Frankie.
It's a big dip in the jet stream, dragging all the cold all the way down Louisiana.
Yeah, what was it like in Sydney this week?
It was mild out on Wednesday, and eastern United States had high winds and heavy rain on Wednesday.
Yeah, it was quite the storm. What about Ontario, Frankie? That's my next question
Those
for
squalls and knowing sound and things like this. I did a forecast with them, sent those videos to you, and my dad's latest song is Divided by my father, Frank McDonald's Mystic Mist.
you. Yeah, I got all the videos in your YouTube here lined up, and we're good to go on that in a little bit here, Frankie, for sure. But yeah, the lake effect snow just burying Ontario, Frankie. When's it going to end?
It's going in, and because the lakes are really warm and the air is really cold.
Yeah, that's the thing, eh? The air is really cold, but the lakes are really warm, and that makes lake effect snow. That's Frankie McDonald. Brandon, you got a question for Frankie?
All right, Frankie. Well, how was the sunset this evening in Sydney, Nova Scotia?
It was a strange looking sunset. And I just took a picture and sent it to Brandon.
Yes, you did. It's going to be pick of the day tomorrow, by the way. So,
Pick of the day, Frankie. Pick of the day. Hilding, you got a question for Frankie McDonald?
Yeah, Frankie.
Mike, can you turn your camera on if you're going to talk? It's a TV show.
Sure. It's kind of dark where I am though.
And I was addressing Hilding, so can you wait?
Yep.
Thank you. Hilding, do you have a question for Frankie?
Is there cold wind blowing in from the ocean at this time of year on the East Coast, or is it still there?
Yeah, Frankie, did you hear what Hilding asked?
Yes, the cold winds going to bring so much rain in the west coast of Vancouver Island this week.
What about on the East Coast?
It was. Then it got some, and it's not windy. It's not as windy in Sydney, Nova Scotia as of right now.
It isn't, huh? Okay, good.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Hilding. There, Brandon Hauk. It's time for part 2. We had the early bird edition, and we got these two. So we got through. Big windstorm happened last Sunday. Then the holiday train came, and then Sunday night came, and
then then it was Monday, and I had the Monday-est Monday ever. I was just messing up, because I was just had such a good time over the weekend. Then, so there's that. But anyways, so I'll skip ahead into the rest of the week. We had a couple of periods of light snow for multiple days there in the area, and we've kind of sat out on this cold Arctic air mass that intrigued the prairies here, like areas around Prince Albert and points to the north and across down to Yorkton and to Brandon. Southern portions of Manitoba had those minus 30-degree temperatures, wind chills pushing the minus 40s. I think Key Lake, Saskatchewan, the coldest place in all of Canada today, minus 45, and the wind chill, it felt like minus 53 earlier today. So that's been the bitterly cold, while Alberta got the front row seat. They sat it all out, and we missed all the cold air this week, but we got those periods of light snow right along the Bear Clinic zone that developed from the Northwest Territories, extending across Alberta into right into Montana. While the East Coast, they had that big storm system that pushed through their area today, and that's likely going to produce wind gusts of 110 kilometers an hour tonight in Iqaluit in the next couple of hours. So we'll be, definitely watching that. But quite a scenario here across parts of the Maritimes. I saw the hot spot was in Newfoundland today, got up to 18 degrees today at Daniels Harbor, Newfoundland. Meanwhile, in New Orleans, Louisiana today, the temperature only got to 13 degrees. So many areas in the Maritimes were warmer than New Orleans, Louisiana today. So there's something to knock your socks off there on the weather front of things. Now, as we look ahead into the
Saskatchewan
weekend,
were as cold as Mars was. Sorry. Well, places in Saskatchewan were as cold as Mars was.
That's right. Yes. That is pretty impressive. Something to knock your socks off. That's right. That's what we do on the show. We knock everybody's socks off in one show, in one report, So as we move into the weekend here, we've got a warm-up. We've got the next system on BC's coast. That's going to allow for Chinook conditions to develop in southern Alberta for the weekend, and it's going to bump our temperature up. Yes, back up the melting point for at least one day. Now, there's a couple of scenarios I'm going to be watching very closely here, because there's a little bit of uncertainty on what's going to be happening in our neck of the woods on Sunday. It all depends where the low develops and where it tracks into Saskatchewan. Some parts of that low could be impactful for parts of southeastern Alberta, including the Brooks area, and that may bring us a bit of snow. Some of the models are going 20 centimeters of snow on Sunday. I'm not quite buying that just yet, but we're going to see there's going to be a potential for some snow to develop. The other story is we're going to be watching southern Saskatchewan as we go through Sunday, as that warmer air pushes across the southern prairies, that milder air mass, and that's going to mean a chance for freezing rain along with snow on top of that freezing rain, and we could be in for some fairly icy, dicey roads on Sunday, which will be I believe the 15th of December. So we'll be watching that scenario very closely, and then it becomes quite a nasty little snowstorm as it moves across the rest of the prairie. So something to watch very closely as we go into next week, but definitely a cool down as the Arctic high drops in from the north, and we'll see temperatures take a nosedive in Alberta this time around for next week. Doesn't look like it will be as cold as what we saw in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, but definitely pushing mid-minus 20s, wind chills well in the minus 30s, especially Monday into Tuesday of next week. So that is, definitely something to watch and monitor very, very closely as we look ahead in the forecast picture. All right, now some of the wildest stories of the week. And here we go. A couple of them, including we go to the city of Bend, Oregon, where they're having a vandalism problem here with people putting googly eyes on the statues in Bend, Oregon. And city officials are telling people to stop putting googly eyes on the statues in Bend, Oregon there. So there's one story there.
Yeah, civilization is
also
crumbling.
Found out, I guess, yeah. According to a survey, many adults lack let's try that again. Literacy skills. And finally, apparently a doctor who's on TikTok says if you're having bowel issues in the bathroom, just moo like a cow. And even in a public washroom, just sit there and moo. Just hopefully nobody's in the washroom with you when you do that.
What's the mooing hoping to achieve?
Well, achieve number two, the number two, There we go.
All right, the Brandon Helk report. Brandon, so let's get back to this thing you were just talking about. Warmer in Newfoundland than New Orleans, but up in Saskatchewan, colder than it is on Mars. All right, so I just want to kind of get your thoughts on this wavering jet stream, and Joe Stover said it pretty decently a couple weeks back. He said, you used to be able to count on things just getting gradually colder, and then it's winter for a while, and then things getting gradually warmer. Speak to that, if you could.
Yes, so typically, that has to do with our climate changing, especially at this rate, but yeah, we have jet stream likes to move around, and especially this week, it tapped into some, tropical air out of the southern parts of the United States, that one side, the warm sector there, with our area of low pressure, so tapped it in so you've got that atmospheric river pretty much all the way from what Frankie mentioned there not too long ago, all the way from Cuba there, and that extended right into the portions of the United States. So you get tropical air mass, you get a warmer air mass moving in, and that's what allowed for some temperatures to skyrocket across the East Coast. Now, the story for us on the west side of the low, because that is going to be a lot colder air mass that drops its way from the north to the south, and that pretty much allowed for some pretty brutal temperatures coming in right out of the Arctic. So this is a troughing right out of the Arctic that allowed for that bitterly cold air mass to drop in to Manitoba and Saskatchewan, allowing for those bitterly cold temperatures for the last couple of days especially in the eastern prairie. So it is quite typical to get that kind of a pattern, especially as we get into the winter months. But yeah, looks like good news for a friend and Joe Stover there. Looks like he's going to be doesn't look like they'll have any warmer temperatures anytime soon there in Churchill, Manitoba. So he's going to be a very happy guy this winter season, I think.
Well, the jet stream bounding up and down, up and down. It's what it's been doing now, more and more over the years, and I've been watching it during my lifetime become more and more erratic and seeing more of these patterns sort of exhibit themselves. And I think the warmer you have an ocean out there, the warmer temperatures that are down there, well, the warmer is eventually going to chase the cold, and the cold's going to have to be displaced by that and spill southward, and has to go somewhere. And we're watching this recurring theme. Isn't that right, Frankie?
It's like a cold, warm fighting each other. That's affecting weather around the world. And New Zealand will soon be getting a lot of cyclones soon.
Yeah, the warm and cold fighting each other. Well said, Frankie. And okay, we'll go to Hilding here, and I want to ask you, Hilding. It's been a pretty non-eventful week in BC, hasn't it?
Well, sort of. It was kind of funny. Like last week, why I didn't get on the show was because we had that slush. When you showed those pictures of that slush storm last week, we had just the edge of that. And it was just enough that it caused some lines to get really heavy and sway. And it tore our power line out here in front of my cabin.
Really?
And then we didn't have power for 3 days. So it was right over the time. That's why I wasn't on the program last week. But other than that, it's been like mild. I mean, like Sunday night, it went down to -3. And then during the day, we've had +2. So we haven't really had a whole lot of change. We had about 2 centimeters of snow over the past 3 days, and it's looked like it's going to snow more. I go out there and it's sifting down snow when I get my wood in the morning, and I say, it looks like it's going to snow all day, and then it'll clear up. Which isn't so bad. It means that my 4x4 truck is still in the shop, and I'm driving a vehicle with front wheel drive, which isn't very handy in the snow. But I'm getting by.
That was some unbelievable slush I was going through, man.
Yeah. No,
That
we
was
just had
really-
like about a half an hour of it here. I was on my way home from town and it was just amazing. Like you'd meet a truck and you just splat and you can't see a thing. But then it was like I said, it was only about a half an hour, but you had a couple hours of it, didn't you?
Well, and we have so much snow here
Right.
as well, right? Yeah, here, watch this for a second, everybody.
Oh my lord!
That's unfortunate. Oh boy. And I'll just move on here. That is slush. Wow, I can't see anything. It was unbelievable.
Lord.
It was like that.
That's
like
unfortunate. Oh boy.
80-kilometer stretch
no.
of highway up into the mountains.
Look at that, eh? That
And I
is nuts.
spent almost the entire drive in and out of visibility.
Expert mode only on the Barkerville Highway tonight.
Expert mode
Said that
only.
3 times.
I know, because it's expert mode only.
Expert mode
whoa.
only,
Oh
kids.
boy.
Oh god.
Yeah, there you
Gotta
go.
slow down
The
here.
wipers can't even keep
Oh
up.
my gosh.
Yeah.
I've
You don't
rarely
know when
seen
those come
anything
up
like
and
that
then
in my
suddenly
life.
there's
I was
water
going like
over your
30 at one point.
Yeah, you know,
here, and
you
it was
city
just-
folks are like, oh, traffic's so bad. You know what? They're sitting in.
There you go. And everyone in Vancouver's complaining because they had, they had Taylor Swift concert there and it had traffic backed up 10 years down the road, Hilding, and all the pollution of not just Taylor flying around the earth, but also
And
everybody.
back
going
on
to-
a concert like that was a rare event.
Yeah, thank goodness it is. And but I'd still rather be driving in that slush.
Well,
So-
I had a real scare. I had a real scare here on Sunday night. We started having killer pocket fog, which we don't get very often here anymore. We used to get it more. And it's like you're driving along and everything's clear and the sky looks black and clear and you're seeing the stars, and suddenly you drive into a pocket of fog when you're halfway up a long hill and you don't expect it and you cannot see the road.
Yeah, well, I noticed the inversion. Like I was coming into Quesnel, and of course we're 2,500 feet higher than Quesnel up here in Wells, and it's like blue sky and nice on Sunday. And then we crest the 11-mile hill, and I look down, you can see the deck of cloud down there where the inversion was.
And
it
I
was like-
found it out from Jason Marshall. This Sunday coming up is the last We Don't Have Cookies podcast before Christmas Sunday, December 15th. That's the last Jason Marshall We Don't Have Cookies podcast for Christmas and the holidays, and then Happy New Year on December 15th.
There you go, Frankie. So
And on-
yeah, Hilding, you were
on
saying
January 5th, Jason Marshall will be back.
on January 5th, Jason Marshall will be back. Hilding, you were saying?
Yeah, well, it was just like I haven't seen fog around here like that for a number of years, but because we're in the lakes here, we can expect that kind of thing. But it was really interesting, and I'm thinking that the way that the patterns of weather are violently moving nowadays, we might get more patchy stuff like that we don't expect. So I think that's something we have to watch for.
It was pretty neat, man. It was like coming in an airplane down into the clouds from up here, coming down to Quesnel, where the fog was. Hey, we got a quick report here from Mark Engels. He's not with us tonight, and then we're going to go to Mike McGregor and ask him about the cold. Here's Mark Engels this week in Haiti.
Hello, everyone. Mark Ingalls here in Haiti, where the weather is nice and we're not being shot by Haitian gangs. I don't know if I'll be on the show this week, but yep, here I am. Yeah, you probably saw my boat back there. That's how I got here. Okay, bye, everyone.
That is definitely not Vancouver Island. Definitely not Vancouver Island. So it's been extremely cold in the prairies. And I don't know if Mike's there or not right now, but I'd like to ask him how cold it has been in Winnipeg when he's back. All right. Guess we got no Mike.
All right.
I got some Frankie videos on tap here. And we also, Frankie, they just, we got the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. Finally, it's over. And you had no major hurricane in Sydney, although base guy got hit by Debbie, not Frankie. So there was, it was notably active. There was 18 named storms this year. 11 of them were hurricanes and 5 were major hurricanes. On the 30-year
And the
average,
hurricane season will return on June 1st.
it will, or sooner. In the average 30 years now, last 30 years, we've had 14 named storms on average, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes. So it was more active than the average season you would expect. Now, right. So the activity was influenced by warm Atlantic sea surface temperatures and neutral ENSO conditions during the summer months, and it was below initial predictions, but it still had some major impacts. So there was Hurricane Beryl. It was the first major hurricane of the season, and it reached Category 5 strength. It was the earliest ever to do so on record. It caused devastation in the Caribbean and parts of the U.S., including Texas, with over a dozen fatalities. Then there was Debbie that hit Bay Sky.
Then Hilding and Milton struck Florida. That means Hilding, Milton, and Beryl are definitely going to be retired.
Right. Well, Debbie hit Florida as a Category 2 storm, but then it went all the way to Bay Sky's house and ruined his studio, and he's not been on for 8 months now or something, right, Frankie?
Because they did a reconstruction at Bay Sky house.
Yeah. So
they had to remove the old electric panels, replace with the new electric panels. He had to set up and things like this. Bay Sky, his best friend Pat and John are throwing the Tip and Bay Sky show to get all the equipment and things like this in order. They get all the equipment back because on the BaySkyShow.com, click Tip. Bay Sky's best friend Patrick and Stevan from Slovakia and John from Florida are tipping Bay Sky.
So Frankie was saying Hurricane Helene then came as a Category 4 and struck Florida's Big Bend area, caused over 230 fatalities. And that was the one that had the Fujiwara effect. It became popularized, that term, popularized outside of the meteorological crowd at least. It was the deadliest to strike the mainland since Katrina. So it was a very big one. Then was Milton. Right, it was the most intense storm of this season. It peaked as a Category 5, and it grew so fast. That's what was crazy about it. It just grew. So that's more or less the story, the lowdown on hurricane season this year. You kind of got lucky a little bit. I think Mike's back now. Mike, how cold has it been in Winnipeg?
Well, yesterday I got stuck waiting for about almost 3 hours for a transit bus because three buses were canceled because of the extreme cold. Yesterday, we got down to minus 33 degrees at 6 a.m. And this afternoon, we got up to minus 21 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity was actually quite high for this time of year. We actually have ice crystals outside right now. Just having a look at this graph from Environment Canada, it's got a cool temperature graphic and humidity of the last 24 hours. Right now it is brutal out there. The wind chill right now is near minus 40. And to be honest with you, the minute you go outside there without a hat on or any mitts, you literally will freeze. Like, I haven't seen it this cold in 3 years. And right now it's minus 26, and it's going to get a heck of a lot colder tonight. I've got extreme cold warnings. Apparently it was colder in Brandon last night than it was here. It was minus 50 or was in the minus 40s last night with wind chill. And I heard in Churchill yesterday, it was minus 14 degrees Celsius. And we were at minus 36 in the afternoon. It's been kind of weird. Yeah. Like bad Arctic colds. I don't know if you've ever been outside in like your freezer, but put like 10 freezers together and go into big one freezer. That's exactly what it's like. But even with our doors open, our furnace like kicks on full.
I've experienced 42 and below, and I've experienced similar temperatures with the 90-kilometer wind going on and been outside in it. The one during that particular instance, I went outside in it to test my winter gear. It's like, well, it's never going to be worse than this. You know?
Well, the fact that
now is a chance to find out how good is my gear.
Well, what's funny is my roommate, he decided to barbecue in this cold weather. And he tried turning on the propane, and the barbecue wouldn't light up for the first, 3 times he tried turning the barbecue. I'm like, what are you doing putting the barbecue on in this cold weather? I guess people can barbecue in this cold, but it's not pleasant.
Oh, driving across
Lots of
northern
steaks.
Ontario, and we were like, put a whole bunch of potatoes in a tin foil with some butter in there and put it on the engine manifold. And it was minus 35 coming through Lake Superior country. And after about 12 hours of driving, I was like, it's
And
got to
there's
be
another
ready by
podcast
now.
I just wished Donna Mantis a Merry Christmas. I just sent the host and co-host of Donna Mantis podcast. I did a video for them, and I would just wish them a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Don Mantis podcast. After like 8
It
to 12
is
hours of driving
currently-
across northern Ontario with these potatoes on the engine manifold, I was like, well, they got to be cooked by now. And I went and checked them, and they were frozen solid. True story.
Something like that. Frozen turkey. That's how you freeze chicken in an instant. You know, I saw a post yesterday. Only something you see in Winnipeg. I'm gonna see if I can share this with the group, but they had ice cream bars outside the No Frills for people to buy because it was so cold. They put ice cream bars for sale there because the minute that you put ice cream bars outside, it freezes. So they save freezer space at No Frills.
Right, and just get rid of all the ice cream bars at once. Look at that. So here's a video from Justin. He had a big snow event last weekend go through, and Sunday or something like that. And the next day it was all kinds of snow, but then they had the extreme cold, which I don't think we really see the extreme cold here. But you can tell that the snow is finished in this video, and it's getting miserable.
Hey, good morning, Joey and the gang. All you comedeorologists, we got a lot of snow now in Brandon, Manitoba. Got a good pile here now, probably about 4 feet tall. And we had, I think, probably about 7-8 inches of snow yesterday. Just working away on the shoveling this morning. A lot of fresh powder.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, lots of snow there. Has anyone got a more Canadiana accent in the
Yeah,
prairie
it's just beautiful scenery this morning too. The trees are all covered up with snow.
Justin Ordle?
I think he missed the spot.
Yeah, that's the update from Brandon, Manitoba.
I mean, that is a guy with the
What
Canadian.
about the Frankie videos?
Still cannot believe it's going down to minus 43 with the wind chill tonight.
It's time for
that's
the
not
Frankie
fun.
videos. Yeah, that's extreme. It's extreme. Yeah, but anyway, Justin, he's got the most Canadian accent there. He's like about 4 feet tall. You know, he's just people say I got a thick one. That's I like his because it's keep it, man, keep it. Ready for the Frankie videos?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, one
Let's
second.
go, Frankie.
Here we go.
Hey everybody, I got a major announcement to make. Base Guy Show is coming back on the air on Friday, December 13, 2024 at 10 p.m. Atlantic, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Pacific. 2 a.m. England. 3 a.m. rest of Europe. And I'll be on Base Guy Show. Once again, I'll be talking about the weather and things like this. I'll be on Base Guy Show once again. Everyone has to go see me on Base Guy Show at 9 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Atlantic on Friday, December 13, 2024. It's going to be Return of Base Guy Show. Everyone, you have to see me on Base Guy Show then. From Frankie McDonald. Hey everyone, my dad, Frank McDonald, made his latest song on SoundCloud. The title of the song is Divided on his SoundCloud Mystic Mist. My dad played the guitar all by himself. He recorded the song, mastered the song, and wrote his own lyrics and everything. My dad, Frank McDonald, wrote his own lyrics, mastered his own song, played his own guitar, recorded his own song all by himself. My dad, Frank McDonald's latest song is Divided on his SoundCloud Mystic Mist. You can check it out if you want to. My dad's latest song is Divided on his SoundCloud Mystic Mist. Give it a listen for Frank Dowd. This is Frankie McDowell, my own TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Major storm is headed towards Vancouver Island on Friday, December 13th, 2024. Winds are going to be really strong in Victoria, British Columbia. That can knock out power. It's going to bring lots of rain in, especially in the coastal areas of Vancouver Island, west coast of Vancouver Island, including Tofino, British Columbia. It's going to bring a lot of rain in west coast of Vancouver Island. It's going to bring really strong winds, knocking out power west coast of Vancouver Island as well, including Port Renfrew, British Columbia, Sauk, British Columbia, Victoria, British Columbia, Saanich, British Columbia, Colwood, British Columbia, Duncan, British Columbia, Ladysmith, British Columbia, Nanaimo, Parksville, Quimicon Beach, Port Alberni, Tofino, Courtney, Comox, Campbell River, Port McNeil, Port Hardy, British Columbia. Winds are going to be really strong. That's going to cause a lot of wind-driven rain and sideways rain. There will be big waves crashing on beaches, shores, and west coast of Vancouver Island. I urge everyone to don't walk too far, especially on the west coast of Vancouver Island and Victoria, British Columbia. Winds are going to be really high on Friday, December 13, 2024. Don't drive a car to the puddles either. Avoid the puddles or drive a car for people living in Vancouver Island, including Victoria, British Columbia, and its surrounding areas, including Tofino, British Columbia, surrounding areas as well. People of Vancouver Island, be prepared. Have your rubber boots, raincoats, and rain suits ready as well. Umbrellas can't be powerful enough to handle the wind. And if everybody lives in Vancouver Island, stay away from beaches and don't go near shores. Be prepared for a major storm on Friday, December 13, 2024. Take care, stay safe. And don't get caught in a major storm. Stay dry and be safe. This is Frankie McDowell, my own TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Major blizzards head towards Owen Sound, Ontario on Thursday, December the 12th, 2024. It's going to bring a lot of snow coming from the Great Lakes. It's going to bring blizzard conditions with snow squalls in Owen Sound, Ontario, Port Elgin, Ontario, Kincardine, Ontario, and the surrounding areas. It's going to bring a lot of snow coming all the way from the Great Lakes in Owen Sound, Ontario, and surrounding areas, including on Highway 21. And Highway 26 is going to bring a lot of snow that could cause massive blowing of snow and drifting snow. Snow drifts. Winds are going to be really strong since the cold air meets with the warm water. And winds will be coming from the west. That's going to bring a whole lot of snow in Kincardine, Ontario, Port Elgin, Ontario, Owen Sound, Ontario, and Dufferin, Ontario, and the surrounding areas as well. I urge everyone to have your shovels, snow scoops, snow blowers, snow plows, and salt trucks ready as well. Have your furnaces, heat pumps ready. Turn on your furnace heat pumps to keep those warm. Drink lots of green tea, white tea, red tea. Drink lots of green tea, keep it warm. Make sure you have your extra blankets ready, keep it warm as well. Make sure to order your pizzas and order Chinese food. Buy cases of Pepsi, buy cases of Coke. Make sure to do your grocery shopping. Don't wait till the last minute. Do it right now. Make sure for your smartphone, cell phones, laptops, tablet charge. Have a 3G, 4G, 5G, and LTE and array as well. Visibilities will be vital conditions, reduced visibilities, dangerous and treacherous driving conditions, especially on Highway 21 in Kincardine in Port Elgin, Ontario, including Highway 26 in Owen Sound, Ontario. It's going to bring a lot of snow in Owen Sound, Ontario, come from the Great Lakes as well. If everybody live in Owen Sound, Ontario, be prepared for major blizzard on Thursday, December the 12th, 2024. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in a major blizzard. Stay warm and be safe.
That's good advice, Frank. You need to get a powerful umbrella. Don't wait. Do it right now. Powerful umbrella time. We got a little bit of time left in the show. So that's good.
And the last time, the last Bass Guy show he did his New Year's Eve special. That was the last time Bass Guy did his show, his New Year's Eve special.
Yeah, New Year's Eve special. Question in the comments. Brandon, Doug wants to know, is the Brooks Rodeo still a big deal?
The Brooks Rodeo. Which rodeo? Oh, yes, the used to be the Kinsman Rodeo, and now the Silver Sage runs it, but still a pretty big deal. Yeah, big party in town, and they've also started up Bullapalooza in downtown Brooks in the summertime. That's also a big deal as well, where they've got bull riding right through downtown Brooks in the summer months. So to do that there as well, then yeah, rodeo is still a pretty big deal. I'm always in the parade, so I'll see you in the parade.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, well, when I lived in Nanton, Alberta, it wasn't unusual to have wildlife show up in the hotel bar there, in the bar. You know, so they had, of course, Cor Blund filmed Hair in My Eyes Like a Highland Steer video in the Auditorium Hotel in Nanton. So there was a Highland Steer in the bar. And there was a New Year's Eve party, I recall, where there was a donkey. I need to say use the word donkey, but everyone was calling it something else.
Is it Dominic the donkey?
Yeah, it was. They were calling it something that sounds like a human appendage, and so the donkey was in there, and it pooed on the floor, of course. And then there was the cat that lived in the barn forever, right? And so I was living in the Nanton Auditorium Hotel, and I was upstairs in the room. I looked at the window, and the people at the antique store across from the hotel, they're putting out this deer head for sale. Like, we don't have room for this thing. And I was like, I need to get that deer head. So here it is. There's that deer head right there. That's the one. All right. So, and there's my Telecaster. So then I goes and I gets this deer head for $750. I think I paid for it. I gets the deer head. So then I take the deer head.
Joey, one day you'll probably write your own book.
I would like to write my own book, Frankie. I've thought about that a lot. So I took the deer head and I peeked it around the corner of the door into the bar as if a deer at about the right height. So it looked like a deer was peeking in around the corner. And Deanna Mosley was bartending, and she looked over and seen the deer, and she screamed, "Ah!" because she's seen so many different kinds of animals in the Nanton Auditorium Hotel. It was completely real to her that it might be a deer this time. And
I think I've actually been in that hotel once. Yes, I have. I think it was my 18th birthday.
For your what? Your 18th birthday?
Yeah, and then spent it at Stavely Hotel.
Right, yeah. When was that? That
was a long time ago, but yeah.
I wonder if it wasn't in 2008, was it? Maybe I was
actually
there.
It was.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. In fact, I suddenly had this weird recollection
2009
of you. Because that's when I was living and working at the Nanton Auditorium Hotel, yeah.
Yeah, you could have walked right by each other.
That's weird. That gave me like a hair on my ends moment. Like, wait a second. No wonder Brandon's always
was it during a pheasant hunting derby?
Yeah, I was there. I was living up. There was nowhere else for me to be. I was probably in the hotel, probably drinking beer after work.
That's the year I won the pheasant derby, or we won it. Yeah, we won the whole pheasant derby.
That's funny stuff, man. So yeah, there you go, Nanton Auditorium Hotel. That's a true story. At the deer head and Deanna was it was great. It was great. I nearly gave her a heart attack. I would do it again. That was like, there was other examples too. There was a goat in the bar once. It was like everything came to the hotel there once or another. It's just like open season. Bring your livestock right on in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mike.
Well, that sounds exactly like something straight out of Canada.
It was cool. Well, what happened was I came and played with the band in Nanton there. And I was like, this place is cool. We had a great show, a great time. And then I became really good friends with Lance Lurie and Steve Lurie, his nephew. Fantastic musicians. Lance Lurie plays steel guitar, plays Telecaster. He's got a Tele kind of like mine sitting right there. And I learned a lot about how to be a butt-kicking country musician from Lance Lurie, how to play the licks. And so we became great friends over the years, and he's come and stayed here and played gigs in BC. And of course, he's the guitarist for Washboard Hank, who does our theme song. Whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather you got. And got a nice picture over there of Lance and I, where one time we were at his farm. I just showed up out of the blue. And I was like, hey, Lance, about 10 years ago, and I'm here. And then good. And he pulled out of the bus on his farm this really large bottle of liquor. And then so we stood right there in the field and drank it. And then we realized we couldn't drive back to town. So we put a canoe into Mosquito Creek and paddled back to Nanton. True stories. So, anyways, when I was quite sick and I was still in recovery for a long time from tuberculosis, took a number of years, and I wanted to go live in the nice dry place, Alberta. And Barb said, come on, I'll give you a job here in the hotel. And so I played music in the hotel. I must have played 20, 30 gigs in that hotel when I wasn't living there, 2-3 nights at a time. And yeah, love that town. Love Nanton, Alberta. I love Southern Alberta. It's beautiful. It's dry. It's excellent. That's my story about that.
So this is some news for both of you. This is from Tornado Tacklers. Their Ring of Fire, the past 30 days, 130 earthquakes of 5.0 or larger. And there's a graphic of it. I can't really show it on TV, so.
Yeah. I don't know
I
if
just
it's
sent
like,
Joey a picture of myself in 2008.
right. Yeah, I've seen pictures of you at that age too. I'm almost certain I'm almost certain we're in the room at the same time, dude. Because there'd be like these things would happen. We'd have people show up from Stavely or Lethbridge, or like
Oh yeah.
people would come on in.
It's scary how those kind of coincidences happen more than once, even to me. Like I meet famous people when I'm out on the go. Like I've met, I know you guys are like famous, so I've met Caroline Bargood on the go. I've met Colleen Brady at events. It's crazy how often you can come across people and not realize it till later on that they were famous or something.
I spent a lot of time in that auditorium hotel there, and finally, I think it was the end of May 2008. I went back to the city, resumed my job there, resumed my radio show, and then started gigging with the band. A couple weeks later, we had our first gigs after that. So everything just got put on hold for 7 months, basically. We finished our tour in December, and the band drove back to BC, and I stayed in Alberta. Just didn't go back. And
What was the name of your band, Joey?
that's the name. I'm
The name?
I'm the band. I'm Joey Only. Frankie, you're going on Bass Guy tomorrow.
Hey everybody, it's Frank now. I'll be on Bass Guy Show on Friday, December 13, 2024 at 10 p.m. Atlantic, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Pacific, and 2 a.m. UK, 3 a.m. Europe, 4 a.m. some areas Europe. I'll be on Bass Guy Show. Everyone has to go see me on Bass Guy Show then. From Frank Down, you can listen to me. You can see me on Bass Guy Show on Friday, December 13, 2024 at 10 p.m. Atlantic, 9 p.m. Eastern. Everyone has to go see me on Bass Guy Show then from Frank Down.
Yeah, 2 a.m. in Europe. Hey, Frankie, 2 a.m. in Europe. Yeah, the Joey Only Outlaw Band. The Outlaw Band, sometimes they call us Joey Only, whatever. It was me. I was a songwriter. And just like the host of the show, I've always been that guy that tries to bring people together to make up for my mental deficiencies.
The first time I played on stage was to open up for you, Joey, at the Legion in Fort St. James.
Right? Was that the Christmas?
If you want
Was
to
that
follow
New
me
Year's
on,
Eve?
if you want to follow me on social media, my threads is at Frankie MacD1984, and my Blue Sky is at Frankie MacD. My ex formerly Twitter is at Frankie MacD. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD1984. My Linktree is Frankie MacDonald. My TikTok is FrankDonald1984. My Clapper is FrankDonald1984. My Twitch is FrankDonald1984. My Snapchat is Frankie MECDON. My YouTube channel, Stocks and Wolves, and my LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald. Best luck, yeah. I'm Frank Donald. You're listening to Comedeorology Weather Report every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic.
That's right. That's right. We got about 3 extra minutes still, Frankie, tonight. I'm Joey Only, the host of the show here in Wells, British Columbia. Been everywhere. I remember the show Hilding's talking about, and it was not the New Year's Eve show. That was a different time.
It was the pipeline protest show in February. Yeah.
Right.
February 2012.
There was some good times in Fort St. James, back when the zoo was open, back when the Legion was really rocking. We played some good gigs there. And I really it's been a long time since I've been to the fort. I kind of miss it. It's good friends there still. Lionel and, of course, Auntie Dar and Uncle Harold and everybody. So we got a few minutes here. It's you're tuning in to C4 88.7 FM, CKW 95.9, and CFBX 92.5. That's in Prince George, Winnipeg, Kamloops. And also, you've been watching us on Rogers Television, British Columbia, and I am officially allowed to go to Barkerville Christmas. Thank you very much, Carrie. Thanks very much, Barkerville, for And good. It's good to the things had changed around here, and it looks like there's some willingness to try to do that. So that's all I need. I'm stoked. I love going there with my kids. It's what does a dad want to do but go to the historic Barkerville for Christmas, a Victorian Christmas. So I'll have some videos for you all to show you all, and of course everybody who happens to be in the Caribou, if you are in Barkerville Victorian Christmas this weekend, we'll see you there. Come say hi. And I don't bite. I don't go in public too much, so it's awkward for me. So you better say hi to me, because I won't say hi to anyone. That's how I am. Yeah, Mike, last words.
Yeah, speaking of Christmas time, I was speaking with the folks at the Weather Center in Manitoba, and unfortunately, it looks like our temperatures for Christmas time are not going to be so Christmassy. There's a possibility that Euro is suggested +4 Christmas Eve for Brandon, and +0 on Christmas Day for Brandon, Manitoba. So
is that a thing? +0?
Well, there is a plus and minus symbol on it, so
it's a +-0. Yeah, it's a 0. But hey, if you want to just stay in the -35 for the rest of the winter, you can have that too. For me, if it's a +4 on Christmas Day, I'll take that. It's a long winter up here.
Shorts on Christmas Day. Now that's something I can take.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long winter up here in the mountains, and we do the best we can to make sense of it all. And that's pretty much the show, I think, for this week, Frankie.
Thanks, Joey.
Yeah, you're welcome. If you got anything else to add, that was Hilding over there in Grassy Plains. We had Mike McDonald. I said McDonald. Mike McDonald was a comedian.
McGregor.
No, Mike McDonald was a comedian who came here to Wells even. He was famous and he died 5 or 10, I don't know how many years, but Tom Bassett would remember, of course. Mike McDonald is a famous comedian. Mike McGregor is not funny, but he's a great weatherman. And,
I'm working on my humor.
Just kidding. And then we got Frankie McDonald over there in Sydney, Nova Scotia. No one's funny.
Don't go throwing snow cones at me now.
Okay, yeah. Just serving you a little justice there. Now we're all good and even on the podcast tonight. And make sure you find us on Apple and I don't know the name, Spotify. Those podcasting places you get your podcasts, go get it there. If you could do that, that's the show, Frankie.
That's the show.
That's the show. Okay, Brandon, that's the show. This time you will agree.
Oh, no, we should go for another hour, hey?
We can in the live stream, but that's the show. There we go.
That means that mail's on strike in Wells, British Columbia, too.
That's correct. Yeah. The mail strike is going on.
Your area, too. It's affecting Brandon Helk. It's affecting Eamon Chikoki Bailey. It's affecting Joe Stover Olivier. It's affecting all the way up to none of it.
But I'll tell you this, Frankie. If you had to drive the Barkerville Highway every day there and back from Quesnel, no matter what the weather, no matter whether you wanted to or not, you would deserve a fair living wage and job security.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
So
all you see is Amazon Prime trucks driving around now. So I think people are going all Amazon for Christmas.
Yeah. Exactly, right? And scabs. And that's the thing is, like, we Frankie's gone. We forget how privileged and lucky we are, right? It's like everyone's up and this is what I get this during COVID too. I felt the same kind of thing. People were like, "Oh, it's so terrible. They're making us wear a mask. It's like I'm not allowed to go out. It's so terrible. It's so terrible. And the mail strike. And I can't get my mail. Oh, these are first world problems. These are first world problems, and I'm so lucky and privileged that something as minor as a mail strike is people trying to get justice." Hey, now, the thing is, when we allow a sector of our society to get beaten down by the employer, what that does is it ripples across, and the next employer gets away with it, the next employer gets away with it, the next employer, and eventually we get less job security, right? And that's how this actually works. So a victory for one is a victory for all. Every time a fight like that is won, it gets a better deal for the rest of us a little bit at a time. I remember these guys, I was in the Auditorium Hotel back in 2007 or 8, or maybe it was one of the times we were playing through for Stampede, whatever, when we're in that. And I'm at the bar drinking, talking to these guys I know that worked in Fort Mac. And the guy's saying, we're arguing about unionism. And the guy says, yeah, well, at Suncor, we don't have a union and we don't need one. I was like, well, explain yourself. What do you mean? He's like, and he starts going on about the mill refinery across the road, the oil and gas show across the road. I forget who it was. If they were union, whoever it was, right? And he's telling me, he's like, those guys, they're union, this and that. And meanwhile, over at Suncor, we're actually getting a better wage than those guys are over there. And we're getting better benefits than they are over the shop. And they have unions, so we don't need unions. And I said, dude, the reason why you have those things is because your employer doesn't want a union to come across the road and unionize your shop. You're getting a better deal because a union exists over there fighting. It has impacted you positively. And they're like, these are Albertans. Like, I'm not allowed to think that. In what world do you want to see other working people get a bad deal? What good does that do me or you to see another worker get a bad deal? When there's billions being made out there, we're not seeing that.
Sounds like the movie Idiocracy at its finest. I've seen that movie before. There's some reference to it.
Here's some Idiocracy for you. Watch this. This is... Oops, it takes me a second because I'm suffering from it. This is I couldn't think of his name. This is what I'm in Facebook jail for now. Is Andrew Tate. Anyone know about this terrible human being? He's terrible. He's terrible. And I've been kind of quiet since the last round of Facebook jail, I said, which gets me into Facebook jail. I don't sleep with vaccinated women, Andrew Tate said. And this woman says, yay, the vaccines work. Because he's a terrible human being. Terrible human being. But I'm in Facebook jail.
That's crazy.
That's terrible. Well, that's the show for this week. I'm going to go put a pizza in. And
yeah, you were talking there, Joey, about all the deaths that's been happening recently. Last week, the man who taught me carpentry died, and on Saturday, the man who taught me how to be a cowboy died.
Oh.
Two of the biggest people who were my biggest mentors in life just passed away within a week of each other.
I'm sorry to hear that, Hilding.
Yeah. So it's kind of, and I mean, the guy who taught me how to do carpentry, he's been suffering Parkinson's for 5 years. He was glad to go. He was ready to go, and he's 77 or no, 81.
My condolences, Hilding. My grandfather had Parkinson's, so I know what it's like, and can send my condolences to them and his family.
Yeah, it's something. Now, the guy who taught me how to chase cows, how to do cowboying, he was kicked by a cow in 2002 in the back of the head and broke his brainstem, and he's been hobbling around and hardly able to talk since 2002, and he's been just sticking at it. He gets out in his four-wheeler and goes, checks fence and chases cows. But he used to be the biggest storyteller in the country, and he could hardly talk, and it just bothered him. And I think that crippling of not being able to talk when he was such a good storyteller is probably what made him finally just give up when finally some of his friends that he really respected, like my father and the guy who taught me how to do carpentry work, those guys died, and they were his best friends, and now he died too. So in a way, it's a toss-up. I'm kind of glad that some of those people that are suffering aren't, but at the same time, it's a lot of memories have gone down the drain.
It's a real, at this time of year, you know this because you've been in middle age and past for a while now. It's this time of year you see people just drop off.
Yeah.
My grandmother is 80 years old, and I hope that she's around for another 5-10 years or so still. But
yeah, it's
hard when you get old.
I have a friend down in Vanderhoof that's 97, and he fell down when he was getting into his car a year and a half ago and broke his hip, and he healed and got out of the hospital. He's out walking again. He had a stroke, went to the hospital for a month. Now he's out, and he still remembers my face when he meets me in the store. It's amazing. 97. So there's some
Wow.
people out there that just hold on, you know?
Yeah.
My my aunt, she's turned 104. So people can live long lives now with technology and healthcare advancements.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
Well, I have to put wood in the fire.
And I'm gonna go to bed. I'm tired here.
Take a leak.
Well, it was a good show.
Yeah, it was a good show, everybody. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
I'm
good
gonna,
show, Joey.
Get pizza in, make the wood stove warm again because I'm starting to freeze sitting here and I have to piss so bad.
Okay, well, you have a good one.
I think it's time. We'll see you
Stay
next
warm,
week,
Joey.
everybody. Like,
Yeah,
share,
we'll see you.
subscribe out there, everybody, if you could. We appreciate it very much. And always keep coming back for more. Till next time.
Mhm.